But you're really not. We're doing a cold opening. We're already talking about stuff, and then we just open up the thing. And that's what the guys do on the last podcast on the left. They're just talking about something random when the episode begins. We're not talking about anything random. We're trying to set up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You ready to talk about this?
Yep.
Part 2 in our multi-part series.
Yes.
Do we have to tell them that you're Phoenix and I'm Will, and we're here to bring on the questions for the newcomers in episode 17?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta start in the middle.
Yep, that's what I mean. You can go by what the bigger shows do, like the last podcast on the left. They always introduce everybody. Where can you find the show, Phoenix, and all the links that pertain to bring on the questions?
On linktree.com/BOTQS.
Yep. Bring on the questions on Facebook, X, although I've been lacking on X. Maybe we should start a Blue Sky. You know what that is?
Nope.
Another social media. The guy who, well, one of the guys who created Twitter started Blue Sky after Elon Musk took over Twitter and named it X.
That's what I was gonna say after Elon.
Yep. Yep. So now there's Blue Sky's a thing. We're on Instagram too. Try to post a couple times a week. Sometimes get a little too busy to do so.
Both YouTube and YouTube Music, if you ever want to watch it.
Yeah. Watch it on YouTube Music? That's a thing?
I think so. You can watch like music videos and stuff. So
Okay.
I bet you could watch podcast videos.
Amazon too. Is that everything?
Did you say Spotify?
I didn't say Spotify exactly, but that's the big one. Apple Podcasts. But all those links, like we said, linktree.com/BOTQS.
That is a very quick and easy way to find
all the links. So, Miss Phoenix, what question are we bringing in this episode?
What are the 9 realms of Norse mythology and who lives there? AKA Norse Mythology Part 2.
This is our Part 2. Where did we end it before? We went through all of creation, the Norse creation in the last one.
You want a little background knowledge? I suggest you go to Part 1.
Yes.
Before we get deep into this stuff.
Because we're just going to keep on going. Take the plan. May as well talk about the plan here. So now we're going to talk about the 9 realms. We just said, and the people that live there. And I think the next part's going to be a series of stories from our favorite Aesir and Vanir gods and goddesses. And there's a lot that goes on and a lot that will lead to Ragnarok. We'll talk some stories in the next one about Odin giving up one eye. Talk about how and why he did that. How and why he discovered the runes. Thor has a bunch of stories.
Loki
has a ton of stories. Thor and Loki hang out together quite a bit. And Loki's always getting Thor into some stuff. We'll try to figure out the differences in all the Freyas and Freyers and Friggas and Friggs and all that.
Fenrir.
Well, Freya and Freyr are 2 different people, and Frigg is a different one. One is Odin's wife. There's a bunch of them.
Pretty sure Freya's Odin's wife.
Yeah, probably. But who's Frigg? That's what I mean. We need to figure that out. Yep. Fenrir, Jormungandr, Sleipnir.
Hello.
Yep. All those things. All those fun things. But first, we should talk about the Nine Realms. The very heart of Norse cosmology stands Yggdrasil, a colossal ash tree that serves as the central axis and binder of all 9 realms, each with its unique characteristics and inhabitants. This cosmic structure links different levels of existence from the highest heavens to the deepest underworlds.
The immense roots of Yggdrasil extend to 3 crucial wells: Orthar Brunner, the well of Erd, associated with fate.
Hvargelmir. Yep.
The roaring cauldron of primordial waters and source of many rivers. Mimir's well, the fount of wisdom. Various creatures inhabit and interact with the world tree. The dragon Niflheim.
Or Needhog. I've mostly heard it called Needhog, the dragon.
Constantly gnaws at its roots, symbolizing perpetual decay and destruction, while an eagle perches atop its branches. The squirrel Ratatosk scurries up and down the trunk, carrying messages between the eagle and Nithhogger.
Ratatosk that's another song. I should have put those lyrics in here from Brothers of Metal. One of the newer ones? Yeah, I think it's from the 3rd album, Ratatosk.
Again, context clues from part 1.
He runs up and down the tree, spreading rumors and taking messages to different people. And part of his rumors were about Odin's beard turning gray. Oh, what are you doing, Ratatosk? Spreading rumors? Trying to make Odin look weak?
Drama enthusiast.
Yes. That is it. Yggdrasil is not merely a physical connector, but also a conduit for cosmic knowledge and magic. Odin's ultimate pursuit of wisdom led him to sacrifice himself, hanging on Yggdrasil for 9 days and 9 nights to discover the runes, gaining profound magical power and understanding. We'll get a little deeper into that probably in the next episode. The who's its and what's it of that. The well-being of Yggdrasil is intrinsically linked to the fate of the cosmos. Its trembling is a dire portent, signaling the impending onset of Ragnarok, the end of the world.
The constant threat to Yggdrasil from Nithhogger, gnawing to its eventual trembling, underscores a fundamental aspect of Norse cosmology. The fragility of cosmic order and the interconnectedness of fate. Even the very backbone of the universe is not immutable. This reinforces the theme of cyclical existence and inevitably of fate.
But it's spelled W-Y-R-D.
That's why I question wired. The cosmic order, though established by the gods, is not permanent. The continuous threat to Yggdrasil mirrors the precarious balance between order and chaos, implying that instability in one area can have ripple effects throughout the entire cosmos, inextricably linking the destinies of gods, giants, and humans.
Mm-hmm. Fate. There are 3 fates at Yggdrasil. We'll talk about them eventually too. The 9 realms, each a unique world, are woven into the fabric of Yggdrasil, representing the diverse facets of existence within the Norse cosmos. Asgard is a celestial realm of the Aesir gods, presided over by Odin, the Allfather. It is famously connected to Midgard, the human realm, by the Bifrost. Now, I've heard Bifrost, I've heard Bifrost. I'm going to go with Bifrost.
The bee that's cold.
The Bifrost, or by the Bifrost, a shimmering rainbow bridge guarded by Heimdall. Asgard is depicted as a magnificent city with towering spires and formidable walls. Within its confines lies Valhalla, Odin's grand hall, where worthy warriors slain in battle, the Einherjar, or Inherjar,
I don't know. I don't.
are gathered to feast and train, awaiting their call to fight alongside the gods at Ragnarok. Odin's throne, Hillitskjalf, from which he can gaze upon all 9 realms, is also located in Asgard.
And Asgard, Midgard, and Bifrost are all in the MCU and Valhalla.
Yep.
Valhalla, I think, is it Love and Thunder? Is that the one? Where it's like the girl who has cancer and she dies and goes to Valhalla.
Maybe.
Like she also becomes a Thor with Mjolnir.
She goes to Valhalla.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that is Love and Thunder.
The weird thing about that is Ragnarok, there was a Ragnarok movie, and it destroyed Asgard. But Valhalla sits in Asgard, according to actual Norse mythology. But if there's no Asgard, how is there a Valhalla? And they didn't really talk about Valhalla too much, I don't think, in the MCU. Because Valhalla is like the Norse heaven to a point. So all the hotshot warriors who die in battle get to go to Valhalla and drink as much meat as they can drink and train and fight and kill each other and rise again and do it again and again and again and again until they are called upon to fight with Odin at Ragnarok against the other forces. There's a thing about Hel or Helheim too, where there's nothing in, I think we'll read about it, it's in the notes somewhere, but there's nothing in any of the actual stories that say Helheim is a torturous place. People won't get tortured there. They're just the other people that are not warriors. Like when people die of old age, they go to hell. They don't go to Valhalla. Women who just tend the fields, they go to hell. They don't go to Valhalla. Children who die young, they just go there. But it's not torturous. Nothing said in any of the stories says it was a torturous place. That was a Christianized thing. It's just the warriors have a closer seat to Odin. I don't know, man. God stuff. Hashtag God stuff.
Hashtag Norse Mythology.
Stuff. We'll take the next part with everybody's names.
Ah, fun. The primary inhabitants of Asgard are the Aesir gods and goddesses, including Odin, Thor, Loki, Balder,
Pick one. Balder,
Frigg, Tyr, and Heimdall. Following the Aesir Vanir War, some Vanir deities such as Frey, Freya, and Njord also came to reside in Asgard as part of a peace agreement.
See right there. Frigg is there, and also Freya. 2 different ones. They've listed out 2 different ones. Frigg was already an Aesir god, and part of the Aesir Vanir War, Freya, and Njord came. So that's 2 different entities.
So an Aesir god married in Vanir.
Well, yeah, bring peace.
I guess.
But there's an awful story. It has to do with Freya. Catalyst for Aesir Vanir War. We'll get into it.
Asgardians, while appearing human, possess superhuman physical attributes, including immense strength, durability, enhanced speed, and rapid healing. They are exceptionally long-lived, though not immortal, with their longevity maintained by the periodic consumption of Iduns,
yeah.
Iduns golden apples. They are immune to terrestrial diseases and highly resistant to conventional injuries. It is important to note that while all Asgardians possess these enhanced abilities, not all are considered gods in the sense of presiding over specific domains. Some are powerful warriors or figures without specialized divine roles.
Yeah, Odin has lots of kids.
That tends to happen.
with those gods.
Zeus.
The existence of Valhalla within Asgard, a hall for slain warriors, underscores the constant threat of war and death even within the divine realm, preparing for an inevitable end. This reveals a profound paradox in Norse mythology. While the gods represent order and possess immense power, they are not omnipotent or eternal. They are subject to fate, and are constantly engaged in a struggle to maintain order against the forces of chaos, a struggle they are ultimately destined to lose in the current cosmic cycle.
Vanaheim is the lush and fertile realm of the Vanir, a distant group of gods closely associated with nature, fertility, prosperity, and Sadir.
Yep, Sadir.
Sorcery or magic. This realm is often depicted as a verdant land abundant with forests, rivers, and fields, embodying the ideals of nature's bounty and abundance.
Tree huggers. Hippies.
Yeah. Hippie gods.
Yep. I mean, vegetarians? Could be. They practice magic. Key Vanir deities include Njord, or Njord, Njord, the god of the sea and wealth. His children, Freyr, associated with sacral kingship, virility, and fair weather, and Freyja, a multifaceted goddess of love, fertility, beauty, war, and satyr. The Vanir represent a more earth-oriented aspect of the divine, focusing on agricultural practices, natural cycles, and the rhythms of the earth.
The green witches.
Druids, stuff like that. Leprechauns? Yeah. I think we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Nature fairies.
Yep, that's them. Don't grab the shiny things in the forest. Leave them there.
Usually they mean curses, so...
That's a cursed object. Leave that right there.
Yeah. Don't touch shiny things.
Nope.
Only return them back to the gods.
Right.
Then you'll get your wishes.
So, steal them and then bring them back?
No, return them. Return the lost item.
Oh, how do you know it's a lost item?
Maybe it's a test.
But where do you take it? Truly, I saw a cup hanging from a tree when I was doing field work one time. And it was a bit far from some houses. And there's a farm like a mile and a half, 2 miles away, and I guess people could go there, but unlikely. And there was an old foundation. So it was just like 2 halves of a wall, a corner of a foundation. Super old. I don't know. It was all run down. It looked like a newer cup. It was a red, shiny cup hanging from a tree. And the guy I was out there with was like, I thought about going to get that cup. I'm like, nope, that's a cursed object. That stays right there.
Yes.
But is it lost? So you're telling me if I would have grabbed that, I could have taken it to somebody who had lost it? Some fairy thing?
Or maybe if it is a lost item, if you even touched it, it would curse you.
Right.
Then you could, make a little, shrine to summon the god to retrieve their object.
But wouldn't they curse me when they came? Like, why did you take my thing?
But you didn't touch the object. You only summoned them.
I'm only going to mess with the thing. It sounds like a lot of work. Leave the shiny object where it is. Go about your own business. It lives here. Doesn't even live on my phone. I didn't take a picture of it or nothing. It's all in my head. We should keep going.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Historically, the Vanir were at war with the Aesir, a conflict that eventually concluded in a truce and an exchange of hostages. As a result, Njord, Freyr, and Freya came to live among the Aesir in Asgard, symbolizing the integration of the two pantheons.
Mm-hmm.
This integration suggests that a complete and balanced cosmic order required the synthesis of seemingly opposing forces. The Aesir, representing martial strength and societal order, needed the Vanir's wisdom in nature, fertility, and magic to achieve a more holistic divine system. The war and subsequent truce symbolize the necessary blending of these aspects for the functioning of the cosmos, perhaps reflecting the historical or cultural shifts in Germanic religious practices.
Mm-hmm. That's a huge theme here. It's almost always it's. I don't think it's so easy to say good versus evil, but it's they have to come to a balance. Whatever forces are facing each other. It's not necessarily good or evil. It's just these forces have to get through the chaos, and then they have to work together.
A battle for balance.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
I just thought that one up.
Yep, I like that. Here we go. Midgard, meaning middle enclosure, Old Norse is Midgardir, is the world of human beings. It holds a central position in the Norse cosmos, situated between Asgard and Jotunheim. Midgard is unique among the 9 worlds that is the only one primarily located in the visible world.
From yours truly, a couple of humans. We live in Midgard.
We're Midgardians.
Yes, we are.
Or we're the descendants of Midgardians, because did Ragnarok happen? Pretty sure Ragnarok happened, and we're just in another cycle.
Yes. It happened.
Until we learn about another creation and destruction mythology story. Sure, the Egyptians have them, the Chinese have them, the Japanese have Celtic.
Maybe Greek and Roman?
Yep, for sure. We'll dive into those at some point. Not there yet.
Yeah. I mean, soon enough, we might dive into some Halloween.
Yep. Eventually. Start scooting into that. We'll probably find something a little lighter when we get done with this series. Maybe we'll throw in, I don't know if we find a light conspiracy theory. Maybe we'll throw in cryptid. Go ahead.
Symbolically?
Nope, this realm.
This realm was created from the very body of the primordial giant Ymir. It is famously encircled by the colossal world serpent, Jormungandr, who holds its tail in its mouth, encompassing the entire realm. To protect humanity from the hostile giants of Jotunheim, a fortress was ingeniously constructed around Midgard from Ymir's eyebrows. Midgard is connected to Asgard by the Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge.
Yep.
Again, context clues in part 1.
We talked about all of that. How Ymir's whole self became Midgard.
His skull is the sky.
His brains became the clouds. It's awesome. I love it. Symbolically, Midgard represents civilization and the perpetual human striving for order, contrasting sharply with the wild and chaotic wilderness of Jotunheim that surrounds it. This highlights humanity's precarious position in the Norse cosmos. Humans are not merely observers, but are central to the cosmic balance, constantly engaged in a struggle against chaos, mirroring the gods' own battles. The fence built from Ymir's eyebrows symbolizes the ongoing effort to maintain order and civilization against the encroaching wilderness and chaotic forces, reflecting a deep-seated cultural understanding of the human condition as one of continuous effort against entropy.
Jotunheim is the rugged and chaotic realm of the Jotnar, commonly known as giants. While often depicted as frost giants, fire giants inhabit
Muspelheim,
another distinct realm. Jotunheim is characterized by its stark contrast to the ordered worlds of Asgard and Vanaheim, embodying pure chaos and disorder. Its landscape is one of rugged beauty, featuring towering mountains, deep forests, and a harsh climate with biting cold and lashing winds. And in the MCU, it is said that Loki is an adopted son, and he's actually one of a frost giant. And he was adopted by Odin.
Yes, that's how it works. He was adopted by Odin after Odin killed his dad?
Possibly.
Is that how it works in the MCU?
I don't know. I just know that Loki's a frost giant was adopted.
Half frost giant.
Half frost.
And if you watch the What If show, the animated one, did you watch that?
I think a little bit.
There's a What If story where Loki is still a frost giant. He still has, I think generally he still has his magic, but he's not of a human shape. He is like the frost giant, big and blue.
Big ice man.
That's that version.
But
Actual Norse mythology is a little bit different.
That's the MCU Norse mythology.
We'll get into it. The Jotnar themselves are not monolithic, brutish monsters. They come in various forms, from the beautiful Gurthur, who becomes Freyr's wife, to hideous trolls with multiple heads and possess a range of personalities, including wisdom and cunning. Loki, the trickster god, is himself one of the Jotnar, highlighting the complex lineage and blurred lines between gods and giants. The relationships between Jotnar and gods are complex and dynamic, marked by tension, intrigue, rivalries, alliances, and even love, as seen in the courtship of Freyr and Gurthur.
And Loki sure is a trickster, and he is very... I don't know what the right word is.
What? Trickster? Maniacal? Megalomaniac? Yeah, he just wants to cause chaos. It seems like in a lot of things. I'll wait till we get into the story of Loki. I don't know how he did it. I don't remember how he did it. I know I read the story before, but Loki was able to take Mjolnir, have it somehow, and give it to the giants. And then then Loki's like, no, I'm pretty sure I know where it's at. Come on, Thor, let's go find it. So they go on this crazy adventure, and Come to find out, it's in the Giant games, and the only way to get it back was for, I guess we're going to just say a little bit here, but we'll get in more detail. The giant who had Mjolnir wanted to marry Freya or Sif. I can't remember. We'll definitely get into it. But Thor didn't want her to go, so he dressed up as her. And the giant didn't know any different. So he got tricked. And then chaos happened. Brutal chaos.
It kind of reminds me of that one scene where Thor and Hulk have to fight in one of the movies. I forget.
It was Ragnarok.
That's what I was thinking. One of the first of the couple.
Yeah. They cut his hair?
Yeah, his hair was short. He had that big old helmet on.
Yeah.
And he was getting beat up by Hulk.
Yep. A giant in his own right.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going. While Jotunheim?
While Jotunheim is described as chaotic and its inhabitants as antagonists, the varied descriptions of giants, including their wisdom, cunning, and beauty, challenge a simplistic good versus evil interpretation. The giants represent primordial forces and a necessary opposition. They are not simply evil, but embody the wild, untamed aspects of the cosmos that challenge and define the gods. Their chaos is a fundamental, inherent part of existence, without which the gods' order would have no meaning or purpose. The interactions, including love and the exchange of wisdom, such as Mimir, who guards the Well of Wisdom and is a giant, suggest a dynamic, interdependent relationship where even adversaries contribute to the cosmic narrative and the gods' development.
Awesome. See? Not so simple as good versus evil.
No. It's all about battle of balance.
Yep.
Everyone just wants balance.
Niflheim is a primordial region of profound cold, darkness, ice, snow, and mist, situated in the northern part of the cosmic void, the Nunga Gap. Remember, we talked about that before. It is one of the oldest realms, playing a crucial role in the creation story. It was the meeting of Niflheim's ice and Muspelheim's fire that led to the formation of the first being, Ymir.
And again, for more context, since you
refer to episode or part 1. What do we call that one? What is the Norse creation story?
Yeah. I don't know how you're making it this far when we've said it a couple times already.
Want to go with the next one? Can you say that word? Oh, you already said it earlier. This realm contains
Hvergelmir, a boiling torrential wall that is the source of all rivers, and one of the 3 great roots of Yggdrasil, extends into the frigid domain. The serpent, Nidhogg, continuously gnaws at Yggdrasil's root in Niflheim, symbolizing perpetual decay and threat to the cosmic order. The realm of Hel, often referred to as Helheim, the underworld of the dead, is also situated?
Yeah.
I was reading that weird. Also situated somewhere within Niflheim. Descriptions of Niflheim portray it as an inhospitable and largely uninhabited world, even by the hardy frost giants.
Yeah, man. It's so primordial and cold. Look at there.
Not even
the frost giants are like, whoa, that's cold.
Not even big ice guys want to go there.
It's too cold.
And they're made of ice, basically.
Everyone has a limit, I guess. Niflheim embodies the duality of primordial existence. It is the source of initial creation through its interaction with Muspelheim, but also the destination of decay and death. It symbolizes the inevitable return to a primal state, a cold and dark void hinting at the cyclical nature of life and death in the cosmos. The presence of Hvergelmir, the source of all rivers, further emphasizes its fundamental role as a wellspring of existence, even as it hosts the forces of entropy. Ooh, now Muspelheim.
Muspelheim is a glowing, intensely hot region of fire, located in the southern part of Ginnungagap, and considered one of the oldest realms. It is the domain of fire giants, Muspells, with Surtur being the most prominent figure, internally guarding its borders with a flaming sword. The landscape of Muspelheim is characterized by volcanic mountains, rivers of lava, and vast plains of ash, making it a fiery and inhospitable place.
Frost giants also don't want to go there.
I bet they melt.
It's too hot.
They're just big old snowmen who don't like it too cold. They don't like it too hot.
Lava's too hot, and Niflheim ice is too cold.
They like it chilly.
Yep. Nice and cool.
Yeah.
Canadians.
Are Canadians just ice giants?
Oh, maybe.
Don't like it too cold? Symbolizing
the
Antarctica.
Canadian Royal Mounted Police. Perhaps they are frost giants. Can't go to the Arctic. That's too cold.
But then they can't go to Australia. That's too hot.
Right. Like how we're comparing
Australia.
Everything there is trying to kill you.
That and they're super hot. There are spiders. They're wolf spiders they calculate your routine and make sure that they can't see you.
Where you can't see them?
What? Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't need spider living here now.
Yeah. I don't need thinking spiders. I'm never going to the Amazon because there's bird spiders. You know why they're called bird spiders? Because they eat birds. You never seen this?
Oh.
It's the size of a puppy. You can pet it.
Oh, I don't want to.
No.
This is why I like where I live. There's too many big creatures.
There's enough. There's still quite a few deadly creatures here that we avoid. Rattlesnakes aren't that far away, but they're far enough away.
Yeah, I'm good. They're far enough away. They're away from me.
More tangents. Ready to keep going?
There is also a spider that is timid.
But?
It's extremely fast and can get up to a foot. It can grow up to a foot.
No.
But the venom isn't really that dangerous. They're timid. They're scared of us. And sometimes they're just nice to have around because, for one, tourists, when they see them, they will try and get them, and then you crap your pants. But if you just let it be, bugs be gone.
Yeah.
Some spiders are like that.
Are you saying Battle of the Balance? Yep.
Gotta have chaos to have that balance.
Order and chaos. Yin yang. Happy sad.
Yep. Or mad glad.
Mad glad. This seems like versions of happy sad. Alright. Better get back to it. Right?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Muspelheim's heat and fire were instrumental in the Norse creation myth, interacting with the cold mists of Niflheim to create the first beings, including Ymir. However, Muspelheim is also inextricably linked to the ultimate destruction of the world. Surtur is prophesied to lead the fire giants across the Bifrost during Ragnarok, setting the world ablaze with his flaming sword and bringing about its fiery demise.
This realm highlights the Norse understanding that destructive forces are not inherently evil, but are fundamental and necessary aspects of the cosmic cycle. Fire, while destructive, is also transformative and a catalyst for new beginnings. Muspelheim embodies the raw and uncontrollable power of nature that is essential for both the genesis and the eventual rebirth of the world. It reinforces the cyclical theme of creation and destruction, where the end is also a prelude to a new beginning.
Ooh. Foreshadowing.
Battle of balance.
Alfheim, meaning homeland of the elves, Old Norse Alfheimr, is the realm primarily inhabited by the light elves, Leos Alfar. These beings are described as luminous and more beautiful than the sun. While detailed descriptions of Alfheim are scarce in surviving sources, it is inferred to be a gracious realm of light and beauty reflecting its inhabitants. The Vanir god Freyr is said to be the ruler of Alfheim, suggesting a deep association with the magic and natural forces of the Vanir. This connection blurs the lines between elven and divine realms, in contrast to the light elves and the dark elves, are said to dwell underground and are described as blacker than pitch, differing significantly from their luminous counterparts in both appearance and nature.
I don't know if I'd really say the sun is incredibly beautiful. I mean, it burns my retinas when I look at it.
It's awesome. Keeps you warm.
That's why I said not incredibly beautiful. It's beautiful for light and warmth.
The thing that is keeping us alive could also brutally destroy us.
Also, a ginormous ball of gas and fire.
Isn't it crazy that we are exactly far enough away from the sun to be able to live? And somehow, the moon is exactly far enough away from the earth that when the moon is between the earth and the sun, it can block out the whole sun. That seems like a plan. And now we are getting further away from talking about Norse mythology.
But also, the moon is backing up from us.
Because it's scared of us?
Too many people around. It's an introvert.
Yep, it's slowly scooting away from us. A couple centimeters a year? Something like that?
So.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be around for a bit.
Long enough so that as long as I'm alive, I think I'll be able to see eclipses.
Yep, for sure.
The existence?
Yep.
The existence of light elves and dark elves with contrasting appearances and natures within the broader category of elves suggests a nuanced understanding of these beings. The connection of Alfheim to Freyr, a Vanir god, further blurs the lines between elven and divine realms. This indicates that the Norse cosmos is not neatly compartmentalized. The elves, while distinct from gods and humans, occupy a significant, if less detailed, role. The dual nature of elves reflects a broader mythological tendency to categorize beings along a spectrum rather than strict binaries, and the overlap with Vanir gods suggests a shared domain of nature, magic, and fertility.
Interesting. They appeared, if we're going back to the MCU, the Dark Elves appeared in Thor 2. What's that one called? The Dark World.
I don't know if I've watched that one.
Watch it. What are you doing?
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, man. They're all on Disney Plus. It's one we don't talk about much, though. A little different.
We don't really talk about much of the Thor movies.
Watch them.
Maybe I will.
I think that one came out. Did that one come out before you were born? I don't know. Maybe. I think the first one did. Pretty sure Iron Man. Several movies came out before you were born in the MCU. Which is crazy to me, but Nidavellir, meaning low fields or dark fields. Old Norse Nidavellir. Nidavellir. Also referred to as Svartalfheim, homeland of the Black Elves or Dark Elves, is the subterranean realm of the Dwarves, Duergar. The Dwarves are renowned as master smiths and craftsmen, dwelling beneath the ground in a labyrinthian complex of mines and forges.
Their craftsmanship is legendary, as they are credited with creating some of the most powerful and iconic artifacts for the gods. These include Thor's mighty hammer, Mjolnir, Odin's golden ring, Jotnar, which duplicates itself every 9 nights. That's a bit specific. Odin's unerring spear, Gungnir, and Freyr's magical ship, Skidbladnir. That's Skid?
Yep, Skidbladnir. You got it.
Weird.
Oh, well, read the thing in the paragraphs. It gets a little weirder.
Which can be folded and carried in a pocket. The gods frequently relied on the dwarves to forge weapons and enchanted objects, making their realm crucial to the functioning of the Norse cosmos. Snorri Sturluson's occasional use of the term Black Elves, Svartalfar, or Dog. There are a lot of pronunciations. Dog Alfar.
Yep, Dog Alfar.
For dwarves is noted as point of scholarly confusion.
Yeah. So I don't know if we can trust old Snorri Sturluson so much. I think he just made stuff up whenever there was gaps in the stories that he couldn't find somebody to answer the questions. He's like, I'll make it up. Figure it out.
And if you want context on who Snorri Sturluson is...
So we're just thinking about a Skidbladnir. It's a ship that he can fold in his pocket. Thanks, dwarves.
I hear the word skid and I think skid marks.
You're on that kick right now. Ay. You know what a skid mark is?
Yes, I do.
When you don't wipe your butt good enough after you poop.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Norse word for that.
There's probably a German word for it. Germans have a word for everything.
Could be, yep. That's something we could talk about, is language stuff. Snacks appeared out of nowhere.
Oh, thanks. Food.
We're not done yet. Language is something we could talk about at some point. Keep getting on these weird tangents, but we'll keep going with the weird tangent. Somebody in pretty modern times, they are working on, or they created a language that is minimal. Like older languages have many words for many like feelings, like a very certain feeling. They're like you were saying in German. You feel a certain way, or you very specific ways of feeling something without using so many words. Germans created a word for it. But this other language is super minimal. There's hardly any words, less letters to use.
Less pronunciation.
Yeah. It's very interesting. We can get into that sometime. The indispensable role of the dwarves in creating the most powerful artifacts for the gods highlights the essential role of craftsmanship in maintaining cosmic order. The gods' reliance on the dwarves' abilities suggests that divine power is not self-sufficient, but depends on the specialized skills of other beings within the cosmos. The underground nature of their realm also links them to the Earth's hidden treasures and deep ancient knowledge, reinforcing their foundational importance in maintaining the cosmic order through their creations.
Helheim is the cold, dark, and dreary underworld realm of the dead, ruled by the goddess Hel, which another name is Hela.
Right. Loki's child.
One of them.
Yes. We'll get into that.
I don't know if she's his only daughter.
Maybe.
As we know, Jormungandr and Fenrir and the eight-legged fire horse.
Bro. Sleipnir.
Sleipnir.
Yep.
I feel like this one mother.
Hel, Jormungandr, Fenrir, Sleipnir. Just 4 kids? I don't remember. He might have more too. Thor's got kids. We'll get into them eventually.
But continuing.
Yes.
It is situated beneath the roots of Yggdrasil. Helheim serves as the final destination for those who die of illness, old age, or other non-heroic deaths, distinguishing it from Valhalla, where slain warriors are received.
Yeah, see? That. Like, you made it to old age, so you don't get to go to Norse heaven? Valhalla? That's what I mean. Maybe it's not Norse heaven.
It's just where
the warriors go. Because they're going to fight in the next battle.
Or maybe a warrior who died of old age goes to Helheim, but it's warriors who were slain in battle who only go to Valhalla.
But at Ragnarok, all the dead who went to Helheim, will rise to fight also. So, it's a numbers thing. So you have less warriors who died in battle in Valhalla, potentially, than you have of the people who died of illness, the people who died of old age. There's a lot more of them there, right? There would have to be. So, can one warrior fight 10 babies? That's the real question we need to ask.
Maybe they're not babies anymore.
Is that how it works? You go to Helheim and you grow up? Well, you freeze in time.
To fight.
I thought you freeze in age.
I don't know.
I don't know too. God stuff. Hel, the formidable ruler of this realm, is the daughter of the trickster god Loki and the giantess Angerboda. She is famously depicted with a striking dual appearance. One half of her body is that of a living woman, while the other half is a decaying corpse, symbolizing her dominion over life and death. Hel is portrayed as a stern and impartial guardian of the dead, tasked with ensuring that souls remain within her domain.
But in the MCU, she has like a crown that's like...
She's mad. She's mad. Yep.
But she isn't half decayed. She's like full human with special clothes and a creepy crown.
Mm, seems like powers that would, well, she's definitely more powerful than Loki, but similar to Loki's, like shape-shifting and stuff like that. But she's definitely more powerful than the Odinson boys.
And is it Ragnarok that we have Hela?
Yeah, that's where she came in.
Is
and
it
stopped.
Ymir?
What?
That
Where?
Thor awakens to
Suitor.
Suitor. That
From
Thor
Muspelheim.
awakens and
So in the MCU, in that story, it seemed like he ended up like turning Suitor off. Somehow he moved his helmet from the fires of Muspelheim, and then all he needed was some fire to wake up, like his head or his horns or something. So, in Thor Ragnarok, he just takes his helmet and just drops it in some fire, and then Suitor comes back. God stuff. Hashtag God stuff.
Hashtag MCU rewriting Norse mythology in their way.
Yes. Because it's not copywritten. You can use it however you like. Like the God of War games. Buddy.
You could play those.
Yep. The God of War games, they are extremely corrupted versions of any of the gods and goddesses that are part of the story, like all the Greek gods, and he fights the Roman gods. Now he became a god of war. He defeated Ares. But they're all like crazy corrupted versions. Like Odin seems like he is a good person, good god, some god you can count on. He doesn't seem like he's wholly evil. He's in a pursuit of knowledge. But in the God of War games, he is a massive jerk. And so is Balder, the god of light, Odin's other son, who at Ragnarok would. Do we know the story? Is it going to be a spoiler? The prophecy of Ragnarok is it will begin when Balder dies. So Balder's story is his mother, Freya, Freak. We'll figure that out. Puts a spell on him, and she talks to everything in existence to not harm her son Balder, because she does not want Ragnarok to happen. One thing that she forgot to ask, not to harm Balder, Loki figured out. Here's a little teaser for you. Do you know what it is?
Is it his heel?
No.
Or
That was a Greek story, Achilles.
I feel like there was a Norse story about that though.
What's his Achilles' heel means a weak spot.
Yeah.
So Achilles' mom dipped him in the river Styx, except for his ankle.
That's what she was holding him by.
Right. Yeah. But we will get into Balder's weakness in the next episode, I think. It's silly.
I'm sure you've told me the story of it, but
You're blanking. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Let's keep going.
Okay. Helheim is populated by the...
I think it's...
Yeah, that one.
Helheim is populated by the souls of the ordinary dead, who generally live in a shadowy existence under Hel's rule. It is typically not described as a place of punishment or torture, but rather a realm of finality and rest. However, at Ragnarok, Hel is prophesied to release the souls of the dead from her realm to join the forces of chaos against the gods.
That's what I'm talking about. Can one mighty warrior that is 6'9", all muscle, fight 10 babies? Or a couple of Meemaws?
Meemaw and Pawpaw.
Yeah, can he fight some Meemaws and Pawpaws?
I don't
That's
know.
died of belly cancer? Or something?
Lung cancer?
Yeah, all that stuff. There's just a bunch of just Meemaws and Pawpaws out there just beating up warriors in the afterlife.
Or not even Meemaw and Pawpaw, but the quite opposite.
Emo kids?
No, babies.
Oh, babies. You need a bunch of babies, though. You need like a whole,
10,000 to make a big Meemaw Pawpaw?
what would you call that group? You know, a murder of ravens, flock of seagulls. What's a group of babies?
Baby Maw, Baby Paw.
No.
Just making 12-foot tall Meemaw Pawpaw.
That's what they could do. All the babies could stand on each other and
Yeah,
be like 5 of them in a row carrying a giant broadsword.
like the Rat King.
Yes. Okay. So Hel is prophesied to release the souls of the dead from her realm to join the forces of chaos against the gods. Got it. This reveals a nuanced Norse understanding of the afterlife, where destiny is tied to the manner of death, not necessarily moral judgment. It highlights the cultural emphasis on heroic death in battle as a path to Valhalla, but acknowledges that non-heroic death is the common fate for most. The fact that Hel, a child of Loki and a giantess, rules this realm and will release her dead for Ragnarok further intertwines the concepts of death, chaos, and the ultimate cosmic conflict. While often portrayed as bleak, Helheim is not inherently evil until later Christian influences began to color its perception. And also, flip the temperature there.
It is cold in Helheim, but nice and warm in Valhalla.
No, I mean hell. The Christian hell is hot and torturous. With the devil.
Yeah.
So it's like they combined Muspelheim and Helheim to create the Christian hell. It's weird. Yeah, maybe we won't talk about these people here. We're over an hour into this.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how the sun and the moon are carried across the sky and why they keep going. And I got that stuff. Maybe that's how we'll start the next episode, with that story, those stories. Got that stuff from Norse-Mythology.org. Got tons and tons and tons of things. And we're going to be referring to that quite a bit in the next episode. And without rewriting everything, I'm just going to straight up quote a bunch of stuff from that website. There's a bunch of stories, a bunch of deep stories about all of our favorites, Odin and Thor and Loki and the Freyhus and Freyhas and whoever they are.
And a bunch of F names.
Yeah, them.
Frey, Freya, Fried, Fenrir. What's the other one?
Well, eventually there's going to be Fimbulwinter. That's not a person. It's a thing that happens when the god of light dies. God of light is Baldur.
So, winter?
It's a winter, but it's like a deep winter. It's a
Eternal winter.
It's a frost giants don't want to go there winter.
Muspelheim.
No. Come on, you got it. It's in there. One of the 9.
It's one of the Heims.
One of the Heim 9s.
Niflheim.
That's the place. Yep, Fimbulwinter. It'll happen. Or it did happen? I don't know. Timey-wimey. Anyway, we did it.
I think this episode's long enough.
What are the 9 realms and who lives there? Question brought.
Question answered.
Where's my button? A production of Wayward Things Network.